had bipolar disorder. So, a definition of bipolar disorder, also known as manic depression illness, is a brain disorder that causes unusual shifts in mood, energy, activity levels, and ability to carry out day-to-day tasks. Types of bipolar disorder. I found 4 types, but I'll be talking about 2 today. I will be talking about bipolar 1 disorder and bipolar 2 disorder. Bipolar 1 disorder, defined by manic episodes that last at least 7 days or by manic symptoms that are so severe that the person needs immediate hospital care. Usually, depression episodes occur as well, typically lasting at least 2 weeks. Episodes of depression with mixed features, having depression and manic symptoms at the same time, are also possible. Bipolar 2 disorder, defined by a pattern of depressive episodes and hypermanic episodes, but not the full-blown manic episode as I described above. So some risk factors, brain structure and functioning. Learning more about these differences, along with new information from genetic studies, helps scientists better understand bipolar disorder and predict which type of treatment will work most effectively. Genetics. Some research suggests that people with certain genes are more likely to develop bipolar disorder than others, but genes are not the only risk factor for bipolar disorder. Studies of identical twins have shown that even if one develops bipolar disorder, the other twin does not always develop the disorder, despite the fact that the identical twins share all the same genes. In family history, bipolar disorder tends to run in family. Children with a parent or sibling who has bipolar disorder are much more likely to develop the illness. And so I didn't do I did a lot of like genetics and like born with kind of factors, but some like environment is of course taking drugs, doing alcohol, doing drugs, being in a trauma event, things like that. Maybe you have depression, but then you get some bipolar tendencies then too. That can also happen. So some symptoms for the manic part of the bipolar is you have a lot of energy, you feel jumpy or wired, you talk really fast about a lot of different things. You're very irritable or touchy, think they can do a lot of things at once. Or if you're depressed when you come with symptoms with bipolar, you feel really sad, down, empty, or hopeless. You have really low energy. You have decreased activity levels, and you can even think about death or suicide. So some stats: 5.7 million adult Americans, or 2.6% of the U.S. population aged 18 and older, every year have bipolar disorder. More than 2 million American adults, or 1% of the population aged 18 or older in any given year, have bipolar disorder. It is estimated that 2 to 7% of people in the United States suffer from bipolar disorder. Almost 10 million people develop the illness sometime during their life. About half of these will never receive the correct diagnosis or treatment. So disorders that connect with bipolar are depression and anxiety. Some treatments. I will be talking about 2 treatments options. I'm going to be talking about medication, and I'm going to be talking about therapy. Medication is good to help control the symptoms of bipolar, but you might not find the best one at first. You might want to try a couple different ones. Medicine generally used to treat bipolar disorder includes mood stabilizers, so they make sure you're not being really, really happy, but you're also not being really, really sad. You're kind of in a neutral state of mind. Or antidepressants, mostly if you're in a manic depression stage. So the other treatment I was going to say is therapy. So some of the therapy you can do cognitive behavioral therapy. You want to maybe combination this with medicine. And family focus therapy is also really, really good. So I have a friend who I will not name that I talked to about bipolar disorder because he has it. So he first showed signs when he was 7 years old. He was having very bad dramatic mood swings and aggression. His sister has it, so it passed down in the family. What he thinks caused it was abusive sister, mom leaving, and he has ADHD, so Ritalin. He had a really, really positive he had a really positive outlook on life when it comes to this. He just learned that it is there and just has to learn to cope with having it. He knows he's not going to wake up the very next day and it's going to be gone. It will be with him for the rest of his life. But at least he's not thinking, oh, woo is me. At least he's like, I know I have this, let me go trade it now. So some difficulties that he faced is mostly financial. So he buys a lot of things, which is a very common sign for when he's in the manic stage, when I was doing my research. So what is he doing for help? He was taking medicine, but it was not helping, so he switched to therapy, and he's doing a lot better. I never seen him like really sad or really happy. I seen him pretty good. I never seen him really happy or really sad, which is good. He feels like, and then the last question was, did he feel people understand the disorder? He does, because he has such a good group of friends who do not make him feel like he's an outcast. He's no good for having it. He has a lot of friends who care about him. So some local support groups, DBSA, Pathways to Healthy Families, NE Northeast Ohio. NE is Northeast Ohio. So Project Team, new classes start January 2016. So Project Teams. So team is short. Well, it's not short for. Yeah, it's short for Tools to Effectively Assist Me. Is an innovative program for children living with a parent or family member diagnosed with a mental illness or who is in recovery from addiction. The program provides education on illness/addiction, healthy coping skills, support, and social activities with families like their own. And I will be talking about what I learned when the video stops. So thank you for listening to me talk. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.